to talk about a little thing that we learned about today called All Elite Wrestling.
I think it's dumb.
Whether this happens or not, plans are in place, wheels are moving, and let's tell you everything we do know so far about All Elite Wrestling.
AEW.
So as we reported this morning and wrote up on PWUnlimited.net, today, WrestlingNews.co reported new trademarks have been filed for a new wrestling promotion called All Elite Wrestling LLC, based out of Jacksonville, Florida. The trademarks were filed within the last week, and they are the following: All Elite Wrestling and AEW, All Elite Wrestling Double or Nothing, and All Elite Wrestling All Out, both used as far as pay-per-view names. The interesting thing here, Tuesday Night Dynamite, trademarked for a television show featuring sports, entertainment, and general human interest.
General human interest.
All these trademarks are registered to the address of the TIAA Bank Field, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. What makes that interesting and something to think about is about a month ago, a report came out that the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars was rumored to be starting a wrestling company with Chris Jericho and Jim Ross. Well, now it looks like it's not Jericho and Ross. It's going to be Cody and the Young Bucks that he's starting a wrestling company with. Now,
go on.
There's one more piece to this. So some people were asking, well, could the Jericho Jim Ross thing also be true, where they're working like backstage, or they're working something as far as a agent role or talent relations? And according to Ryan Satin of Pro Wrestling Sheet, he did report that according to sources familiar with the situation, Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks are the ones working backstage on this next business venture following their success of All In. This includes talking to talent who are free to work elsewhere or will be available soon. We've heard that Jim Ross and JR would merely be talents if and when this new promotion does get off the ground and running. That would explain why their names did come up recently, but they're not going to be working in any sort of a official role. They'd just be talent in the company. And some of the names that are now being talked about that could join this new promotion, of course, you've got Cody, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, Hangman Page, and a couple other interesting names to where they haven't re-signed with Ring of Honor and their contracts are coming up.
They're all just guys from Ring of Honor that haven't re-signed.
Daniels, Kazarian. Those are two other guys. But here's the one thing. If you're starting a new company, are you going to start a company where you sign guys to exclusive deals? Or are you starting a company where you say, hey, you work for us, we'll let you go work anywhere else as well? Because you've got to fill a full roster. And
here's the feeling it's going to be the you work for us.
Like you can go work other promotions if they don't got television kind of deal?
Mm-hmm.
Now here's the other question. It looks like with the Tuesday Night Dynamite, they could be running on Tuesday nights. So do you think they wait to start their company until SmackDown moves to Thursdays? Or Fridays, I mean? Since they're going to be, quote-unquote, on Tuesdays. And one other thing before you answer that. Support Ramcar says, how about Kenny Omega? That would be a big get for them. Who knows? Kenny may go with them. Kenny may stay with New Japan. That's the big what if as well. As far as Tuesdays, what do you think?
I think it'd be stupid to go on a day that WWE is airing. I think that would be very foolish.
So you think... Here's what I was thinking.
Because here's my picturing. What am I going to watch? WWE, the publicly traded company, or these guys? There you go. That's my answer.
But anything you put the Bucks associated with is going to get watched. It's going to get... I mean, the Young Bucks came out with a children's book. They did a autograph signing and selling the book deal at a Dave & Buster's in SoCal. They had a line out the door, all 20-year-olds. Not people getting books for their kids, just people that wanted to meet the Bucks. You put anything Young Bucks, it's going to sell. It's going to get... Weird. You know what I mean?
That's pretty weird. But regardless, I get that that'll get views. But they will not come close to the views that WWE will always
no, because they're not going to be able to get on a network as big as what WWE's got with Fox and USA Network. And
I think to run a show on the same day as WWE would be costly to them.
Here's the thing. WWE is moving to Fridays. So essentially, the same week or the week after or the month after they move to Fridays, start on Tuesdays. People are already conditioned to watch wrestling on Tuesday nights. So then they're going to say, crap, it's Tuesday. I usually watch SmackDown. SmackDown's now on Fridays. Wait, there's a new company with the Young Bucks on Tuesdays? Let me watch that.
I think we just have some really hopeful thinking, you know? I think we're thinking way too optimistically.
Right. I mean, I understand that.
There's a lot I think we're not factoring in, like, yes, they'll probably get all those ROH. If it even happens, they'll most likely get the ROH guys that haven't signed. But they also might just get them and get a whole bunch of nobodies, and no one's really going to care.
That's the other thing. They're going to have to build up guys that people don't know about, and that's going to take a little while. I think at first, maybe the first 6 months to even maybe first year, they'll have a lot of buzz because, hey, this is new. They've got $1 billion man in the Khan family who owns the Jacksonville Jaguars funding it. Apparently the son, Tony Khan, has been trying to get his dad to work with some sort of wrestling thing for years, so he's a huge wrestling fan. So he's
wrestling's a lucrative business right now.
Exactly.
Very, very, very lucrative.
But the other thing is, yeah, you could say they've got a billionaire backing them. Who knows how much money he's actually putting up, and we may never know. He could put up $6 million. He could put up $100 million. We don't know. And also, you got to think, okay, if he's going to put up this money, are Bucks and Cody going to put up any of their own money like they did with All In? It's just there's too many what ifs right now. People are already trying to say, oh, it's going to do this, they're going to do that, they're going to not. You don't really know anything. Exactly. They may announce something January 1st because they're teasing a big announcement on January 1st with Being the Elite, because they've done it with Nick, Matt, Cody, and I think Hangman. They've all done the whole countdown clock on their phones that goes to January 1st. There's also the thing of Marty Scurll on Being the Elite keeps saying, hey, I'm having a New Year's Day party January 1st. You want to come to my party? And they're all saying, oh, sorry, I can't make it January 1st. I'm busy. So maybe they announce this All Elite Wrestling on January 1st, but then say we're not starting till X date.
Yeah, it could be. It could also be, hey, we're starting this wrestling promotion next year. Right. And then the other question, year's worth of hype.
Right. And the other question is, do they get TV? Do they air it on YouTube at first? Of course they've got to have a television network, right?
Can't do YouTube because just look at What Culture Wrestling.
That's exactly where I was going to go.
Hit really hard when it came to YouTube.
It helped them gain 500,000 subscribers, but then they learned quickly that wasn't the profitable way to do it.
It's expensive to run that, and demonetization is a thing.
Yes, sir.
Trust me.
So, I mean, there's a lot of what-ifs with this. There's a lot of possible good things that can come out of it. But then for people to go on and say that, oh, and you know who I'm talking about, they're going to be competition to WWE. We don't know that. Because A, you don't know what network they're going to get on. If they get on, say, Access does not have that big of a reach. If they go maybe WGN America, like they did with All In, yeah, it's got a little bigger of a reach than Access TV, but not much. They're not going to get, I don't think, unless they can cut some deal with like the Paramount Network, former Spike TV, I don't think they can get on a network big enough that can just help them skyrocket right away.
Well, I mean, fuck, look how popular ICW is, and they're just on a streaming platform. Well, they're just on their Fight Club streaming, and Fight TV is a thing, and Powerbomb TV. There's options out there. There are,
but
when you run into Fight TV and Powerbomb TV, you then give the option for people like us. Then we could reach out and be like, hey, we love AEW. We'd love to help promote it on Fight TV. You know, we have the thing. You could offer us a first episode's free. Maybe you get this pay-per-view free. Maybe you get $5 off your sign up, something like that. That gives you the option for them to make money, for us to have a sponsorship, and for them to have a home to put a platform.
Right, and the thing with Powerbomb TV though is you don't get to see anything on that for free. Basically, you got to pay, and they usually do weekly shows on Powerbomb, or is it just the pay-per-view style shows?
I believe they have the one weekly thing I know is their it's a wrestling promotion of New Orleans. It's Wildcat Pro. That's a weekly thing.
Gotcha. Because I know with Fight, they do have a lot of weekly. I mean, they've got Ring of Honor weekly. They've got Championship Wrestling from Hollywood weekly. So Fight would be okay to start. But when you're starting a new promotion like this, when you're putting so much money into it that we're assuming they are, you're not just going to want to think, oh, hopefully we can gain some viewers on Fight TV. That's only going to be the people that know about it. You're not going to gain any new people that are just flipping their channels and see it.
I don't think they're worried about getting those people as of right now. I think they're worried about establishing themselves as the company that is rivaling WWE. They have the Fight TV crowd. They do a pay-per-view like All In on WGN. And then, whoa, now we have a TV deal with it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, you can't go out of the gates hoping for the $1 billion deal. You gotta start small.
You know my other fear?
Ghosts.
It has to do with All In. Nobody knows what All In did on pay-per-view. The buys as far as the number. You would think if it was great, they would have put that out as soon as they knew. Like Dave Meltzer was asked this on Monday night during their mailbag segment. Like, hey, have you heard anything on how All In did as far as buys on pay-per-view or on the Fight app? And he goes, honestly, I haven't heard anything. No one's saying a word about that. And you would think if it was good, they'd put that out there and tout it, you know?
The reason I think
They haven't said anything?
Yeah, it's just because it probably did really, really well. And now they don't want to come out and say, hey, we did great. You know, look how big our dicks are. Now, guess what? We're starting a promotion. They want to be like, once they get ready to announce a promotion, they say, look, with the success of All In, with All In have these amount of buys, we thought it would be a great opportunity and a great time to fulfill a dream. And we're going to start our own promotion right there.
So you think they're waiting to say that?
They're waiting.
Kid Smooth in the chat says, if AEW does get a TV deal, would they go WCWA and be on TBS and TNT? Not to be rude, but does he know who owned WCW?
Ted Turner.
Who owns TBS and TNT? Like,
Ted Turner.
The reason WCW was guaranteed a time slot for so many years with Nitro is because the company that owned the television network. They didn't have to worry about pitching their show to different networks and saying, hey, please pay us to run a show on your channel. It was more of, hey, you own our company. Your company can only make money if you got it on TV. So put us on your network, put it on the network you already own. So they're not, the Bucks and Cody aren't aligning themselves with somebody that already owns a television channel. They're just somebody that's got a lot of money and owns sports teams.
But regardless, I do think AEW, if it ends up happening, would be something different. And who doesn't like something different?
I just hope it doesn't have just... I hope my one fear is we don't turn it on and be like, is this something new or am I watching ROH?
Exactly.
Because if you know, I don't know how many people know, a lot of the people that worked like production backstage for All In were ROH guys. So that's just my thing is I hope they don't just... I hope it looks new and different and it just looks like something that doesn't look like something we've already got.